We got breaking news. This from the Post Millennial. Twitter has disbanded its infamous Trust and Safety Council.
Huzzah!
As Twitter moves into a new phase, we are reevaluating how best to bring external insights into our product and policy development work. As a part of this process, we have decided that the Trust and Safety Council is not the best structure to do this. Ooh, there you go.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't very trustworthy, and it didn't keep a lot of people safe.
Yeah, double speak all the way.
It didn't do any of that. It just banned political speech. That's exactly what it did. Also, it's very curious to see a lot of these members of the Trust and Safety Council kind of publicly resign after Elon Musk specifically said that he's going to be going after child exploitation and adult content on their website. A little curious about how that happened.
Do you think that they were asked to keep it on as like honeypot stuff? That crosses my mind.
There is some speculation, but it's all speculation.
But the Daily Wire also reported that there was allegedly 10 million views of child adult content material that was watched on the old Twitter. 10 million views. That's a lot of views.
But this is confusing.
This is what the Daily Wire is reporting.
There's a big difference between a 9-year-old that's, some horrible thing is happening and a 17-year-old. There's a big difference. In some states, 16 is the age of consent.
Yeah, but because of the fact that you can't make a law that is arbitrary, you have to have a dividing, you have to have some point where it says, okay, this is where we make the decision. You can't have laws that are arbitrary like that. So you have to say someplace. And 18 is as good a place as any. And I think that the argument should only be going for older just because of the way that the brain develops.
Yeah.
I think that I would people that say, oh, we should make sure that the age to drink and buy a gun and to vote and all that stuff is the same. I don't see why they think it should be made younger. That just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, they've been trying to get everything. They want the voting age to be 16.
Yeah.
Democrats. Because low information voters is how they win. Then you get 16-year-olds, you get universal mail-in ballots, and then there you go. Simple as that. Well, they eliminated the Trust and Safety Council. They say, our work is to make Twitter a safe, informative place. We'll be moving faster and more aggressively than ever before. And we will continue, we will be moving faster. And we will continue to welcome your ideas going forward about how to achieve this goal. We'll also continue to explore opportunities to provide focused and timely input into our work, whether through bilateral or small group meetings.
I don't think that there's a whole lot of argument about the fact that Twitter is far more responsive now to most people's inquiries than they ever were before Elon Musk.
Yeah,
it's
he's on the platform.
It's not like you could tweet at Jack and expect Jack to do anything, or you could tweet at Parag and expect Parag to do anything. They would just ignore you.
He's responding and even explaining a lot of his unpopular actions, like not allowing Alex Jones on the platform. He at least gave an explanation. We didn't like it. It wasn't a good explanation, but would we get that ever with Google?
No.
With YouTube?
Yeah, right. I love when the CEO's involved. But at the same time, I'm concerned about centralized systems because we were saying earlier, it's cool that Tesla and SpaceX and Twitter are coming together to form this uber mind of communications and travel. But if the FBI hacks into it, if some foreign government hacks into it, if someone buys the companies away from Elon and then wants to just own humanity. So we got to decentralize these systems, these software codes, get it out of any individual's hands as fast as possible. Because I do not like one guy making the decision of who has to stay and who has to go.
I got to push back on that because Elon Musk as the one guy that owns Tesla and Starlink and Twitter and stuff, that's fine. Because the option is government, which is run by bureaucracies and is not responsive. And all the problems that we had with Twitter, you get from government because there's nameless, faceless bureaucrats that literally comprise the entrenched bureaucracy or the deep state. You either get. So Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin has been talking about this idea, which I forget the way that he articulates it, but it's essentially where one guy is in the right place at the right time and is the right person to do something. And it's kind of like a convergence of the conditions and the person. And without the person, it doesn't happen. And Elon Musk is kind of the person that has found himself in the position to do the things that he's doing. It's not just that. It's not like if it wasn't for the fact that it's Elon Musk doing it, it wouldn't happen. It's not like it's replaceable. It's not like anyone could be there doing it. So the idea of breaking it up and having other people handle it, if you break it up and have other people handling it, there's no guarantee that it gets done because there's not one person with the vision and the drive to push to make this thing happen. And sometimes it comes down to one individual pushing with the drive and everyone coalescing around him or people coalescing around that idea. But it's that one person pushing that really kind of becomes the catalyst.
And we could argue that Twitter is just acting as an arm of the government, with the FBI getting involved and manipulating the public perception on things, with cyber command operations, psyops, etc. It's just essentially a function of government.
I mean, I'm sympathetic to the intent behind what you're saying, which is you want to make sure that an individual doesn't become corrupt and derail progress towards a certain goal. But I think that having the option between the right person pushing for an idea or for a result versus a bureaucracy trying to come up with a result, I feel like the right person is the better option. Now, not to say that every individual is the right person. Just because you have a person in a position that's has authority doesn't mean that person's going to get it done, because charisma and the ability to work with people and so many other things go into it. And that's why it has to be the right person. But I think that the right person is better than a bureaucracy.
The two people I think of in this example would be Julius Caesar and George Washington. Both of them ultimate military power behind one man. Washington, it was a group of thinkers that said, hey, George, you're going to take this for now.
Yeah.
George was able to let it go.
Yeah.
And we need people like that because Caesar was not.
I think that's I think you're right. I think that is a very wise take, because it does matter the person. And you're right, because Washington is the guy that said, I want to give this power back. And I think you're right. So.
Yeah, it could have either been stolen from him. He held on to it. Someone could have assassinated him, then become the next king, or any number of god awful things could happen if he tried to hold on to the power. I understand what you're saying, that one guy can move quickly. You can get a lot done. Authoritarian regimes, including corporations, move quickly because there's one guy making the decision, or girl. But the danger of that for the social public square, I don't like.
I don't see the danger with Elon, though, because someone tweeted at him and said, hey, I hope SpaceX and Tesla are running well with how much time you spend on Twitter. And he's like, actually, the teams that are in place are really good at what they do. So he's already kind of passing the torch down. He kind of just oversees and puts his name on the companies.
Yeah, plus he's got to post spicy memes, way more important than rockets. Right?
I mean,
go Morocco.
Someone's got to milk the lol cows.
The meme of the digging up Twitter secrets in the grave, you saw that he posted that?
No, that was pretty good.
Look, every segment we've had so far has been about Elon. He's just the main character at this point, I guess, isn't he?
Unfortunately, he's the guy that's, especially considering it's the holidays, he's the guy that's driving the national conversation. And thankfully, things have kind of chilled out in the Ukrainian war. And I say thankfully because that means fewer people are dying every day when there's less fighting. And that, to me, is good. And so I guess that Elon Musk is the thing to talk about now.
It didn't chill out. It just kind of temporarily stopped because of the winter.
Yeah,
which stopped some of the fighting, but they're still using drone-on-drone warfare, which is absolutely crazy.
I just got to give a shout out to the latest episode of Rick and Morty. I don't know if you guys watch it, but there's the president's in it, and he makes a joke where something happens, and he goes, well, we'll just blame it on the Saudis. They do this kind of thing. They've done this kind of thing. They did do this thing. Like, it was just so well done. I was like, that's exactly
what happens.
They did do
this thing.
I wouldn't mind seeing a meme of Elon in a graveyard, cross-legged, meditating, and all the spirits of the ghosts are coming out of the graves of all this Twitter.
You heard him, internet.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's fair to say he is the new mass formation psychosis target. He's the one that the corporate media is centralizing their attacks against. They're attacking him more than they are actually covering the corruption that was at Twitter, that was at the FBI, which is very telling. They're trying to make Yoel some kind of victim victim here. They're trying to make Dr. Fauci some kind of victim here. These are not actual victims here. Yoel Roth literally tweeted about how high school teachers calling for them to have meaningful consent with their teachers. Like, come on, Dr. Fauci.
Teachers with their students.
He asked if they could.
Yeah,
I don't think they said they should.
But how do you even ask if they could? The answer is just no.
Yes.
So instead of asking, you just say they can't.
Why would you be even asking that specific question?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But you see, hold on. You see the game he's playing? A regular person doesn't ask. They just say, a child can't consent to be with their teacher.
Yeah.
He goes, but can they? No.
Literally, the only reason that I say that is so that way, like tomorrow or in a couple days, when someone's like, oh, blah blah blah, like I can say no. Like I said the actual thing,
right.
And then I can be like,
But
why the hell does he say it?
That's an example of doing what's right versus doing what you want.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just got to acknowledge the objectivity of these psychopaths.
Yeah, or acknowledge the fact that he might be playing word games or whatever, and it might be just the way that he's articulating stuff.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.